Alright fellas, we're in the final hours before the event starts. Hopefully you've got your references and supplies ready for the battle because it'll be here sooner than you think. Assuming you clicked on this video because of the title, in this video I'm going to be giving you a bunch of different attack ideas you can try out this year. Starting with the digital ideas, put a character on a magazine cover. Have you ever thought to yourself, wow, this drawing looks great, but I wish I could fill out the rest of it with something other than a background? Well boy, do I have the solution for you. Around the character, add some headliners and some other magazine doodads and suddenly the piece will look fuller. This one works especially well with characters with lore because then you can make up relevant stories for the headlines. I've done it in the past and I think it's a fun way to fill out a drawing. Give it that extra oomph. If comics are more of your jam, you could try making a mini comic with someone's character. You can use multiple of the characters, or you can try interacting with someone else's or even your own characters. Just make sure it's okay with their permissions and don't overwork yourself with too many panels or anything too complicated. Piggybacking off that last one, if you're more of a writer, you could try writing out a short story or a scenario of someone's character. Though, since there's no way to rate text-based attacks, you would still have to submit a visual portion, i.e. a drawing. But according to the rules, you can then check off an extra polish. Maybe not the most convenient attack idea, but it'd be fun nonetheless for those who enjoy writing. Next on the list we have animation memes. Many animations come out of Artfight every year, usually in the form of a mass attack. If you're looking to be ambitious this year, it's something you could try. Blasted on the digital list, we have 3D models. I've seen a few of these in the past and I'm trying to do it this year, but you can sculpt a model for an attack. If you're also well versed in the program or want to take the extra time, you could also do a simple rig and animate the character for those extra points. Back behind, you can see my practiced attempts at a sit sprite. Let's just say YouTube makes it look a lot easier than it is. Next, we're going to move into physical attacks. But before I get into that, if you choose to make anything physical for an attack, it is not expected of you to ship it out. And if you do want to ship it out to the other person, and I think a lot of others would agree and recommend that you ask and have the recipient cover the cost of shipping. And a side note, as per the rules, you are not allowed to profit off of any of your attacks, so shipping is the only thing you're allowed to charge. And with that being said, be safe about shipping things out as well as receiving them. Remember all of those online safety lectures. Back to the list, first we have puppets. Could be a sock puppet, cardboard puppet, a proper hand puppet, or even a string puppet. Now I've never seen these done for Artfight, but thinking about it, a puppet would be really cool. And I'm sure someone does have a puppet character, so recreating it physically would be bonkers. Next, I mentioned this one in my last video, but if you're into doing nails, you can make a set based off of a character. Personally, I think it'd be really fun to do a character who looks like they'd have really fancy nails. And even better, if a character already does have really cool nails, you can recreate them. Makes the brainstorming process a lot easier. If you like cosplay, you could become the character you're attacking. Cosplays can be created using pre-owned garments or character-specific things you've made, so it's up to you whether you decide to dig through your own closet or make something from scratch. I've only seen maybe a couple of these through all of my Artfight years, but if you have the abilities and are comfortable with posting yourself, though minors do have to cover or block out their face to conceal their identities, cosplaying someone's character could be a good idea. Paper portraits. These were a trend a while back, mainly for couples, but it'd be fun nonetheless to do as an attack. I even did this a while back myself, so I can attest it's a fun and simple craft. Though I do recommend just freehanding it, and if you do have those funky scissors, use those too. It's the kind of thing you want to have fun with. Next, we have jewelry. You can make something inspired by the character's design, or if a character wears a cool piece of jewelry, you can try replicating it. This can range from something simple to something a little bit more complicated depending on how much time and effort you want to put into the attack. Following jewelry, you could also make some keychains or charms. In the past, I've seen Shrinky-Dink paper charms, and even some small clay charms that would be great additions to a keychain, so it'd be interesting to see what you can do. This next one is probably my favorite one on the entire list, but plushies. These kind of attacks could have vastly different results depending on your skill and knowledge on plush making, but cool nonetheless. If you're good at sewing and particularly with patterning, or if you have a pattern that would work for something, I'm sure turning someone's character into a plush would absolutely make their year. And if making actual stuffed animals seems a little bit daunting, but you like the idea of making a plush, you could try making a little felt plush. One summer years ago, I went on a big felt doll making rampage. I don't have them anymore, but here's a basic example of something similar. They're not too difficult and can be easily made with basic hand sewing or glue if that's preferable. And if it's something you end up enjoying, you can increase the difficulty as you go. And on that note, you could also try doing a custom doll. If you're anything like me, you've seen those creators who customize Monster High dolls or other dolls. On Artfight's attack guide, it says that dolls must have a minimum of self-made clothes and a repainted face. They also ask that you credit the producer of the toy you're customizing. I've never seen this kind of attack done on Artfight, but thanks to a comment from last video, I might actually see one this year. This is definitely a very unique idea. My next idea was to make a CD album. And don't go crazy, I don't mean make a whole album of songs, but rather you could curate a playlist based around the character, and then you could design and draw a CD cover for the visual portion. You could interpret it as if they were a real music artist, or the subject of an album. It's really your choice. I'm personally a really big fan of when creators give their characters or stories playlists, so turning that idea into an attack would be super cool. And the final idea I have for you is a pop-up book. Now this would be another one of those really ambitious ones, but I do think it'd be really good for a mass attack idea. Just think about it. You come up with a little story, gather a bunch of characters that would fit within the narrative, and then make them into 3D art for the story. You can have one character, multiple characters per page. You can have a flat background, or you can have the background 3D as well. If you know how, you can make it interactive. The possibilities are endless. And if coming up with your own narrative isn't something you really want to do, you could turn the attacks into individual pieces of 3D pop-up art. Just think about how cool it would be to have a whole pop-up book of attacks. In my head, that's such a cool and unique idea for an attack. Anyways, those were all of my ideas. If you have any more, let me know in the comments. And just a little reminder for any attacks that aren't directly of a character, whatever you do has to clearly represent the character you're attacking, so they may require a little bit more thought and consideration when making them. That's it for this video. Hopefully you got some new ideas, and a happy art fight!